Hey, buddy.
How you doing?
Great. How are you?
Doing well.
Yeah. How's it going?
It's going all right.
God, what a day to go out and do this, huh? Have you been around?
There's been better days, but...
No, it's a perfect day for it.
Are you talking about the traffic?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you kidding me? I just come back from my lunch hour driving around doing a bunch of errands.
I don't think I've seen it this bad. I mean, so far. This is probably the worst because of the weather.
Yeah, it's right up there.
The cloudiness of it. Okay.
Yeah.
So how you doing, man?
Not too bad.
Good to see.
Legal? We have seatbelts.
Yeah, no, yeah, there is. Here, go ahead and put it on. I don't use mine. You are the transportation director. Is that what's the
planner? I think.
Planner. Okay. So how's everything going as far as transportation planning going?
Oh, it's going well.
Yeah.
You can see our park and ride lot if you're familiar with that at all. This is something that's very successful.
Oh, by the way, yeah, let's cover that.
Well, this was something that was started this winter.
Great idea.
Yeah, this was put together very, very quickly, and with a lot of private cooperation. Mark Snyder at the Nantucket Hotel, working with a lot of town officials and the Steamship Authority to get this done. There's routinely 30 or 40 vehicles parked here, even more on the weekends. And you see there's a bus right behind us. 20-minute frequency, and what it does is alleviates a lot of
there it is.
The demand for downtown parking and the traffic congestion around the ferries. It's still kind of bad, but this helps alleviate it.
Whatever we can do right now, right?
Exactly.
I mean, it's. So what I thought we would do, Mike, is just drive around to a few places and talk about it. Okay. Is that all right?
Absolutely.
Seeing that we're on Old South Road first. I mean, yeah, Old South Road here. Mm-hmm. Let's drive down there and talk about what could be done. Ideas. The town has to say, okay, this is what we're going to build, and then you come in and do what you need to do? We
have existing problems right now. If you look to the left, there's the intersection of Fairgrounds Road and Old South Road.
Right.
That's an existing problem right now that should be addressed. What's recommended is a roundabout, a three-way approach roundabout at that intersection, and that should help address a lot of the congestion there. Making a left-hand turn from either Fairgrounds or Old South Road is a big issue, and it contributes a lot to the delays.
Exactly.
But even further down the road is at the Milestone Rotary. That's really not functional in the configuration it's in right now. What's recommended are approaches, two-lane approaches from Old South Road and Sparks Avenue, and that'll help increase the capacity through the rotary, and it can just handle more traffic.
Exactly. Proposals. They want to build a hospital, maybe in this area.
That's what I heard.
Right?
Yeah.
If that were to happen, what would we need to do with this road? No, just that alone. Forget about what might happen down the road.
You could make an argument that increasing the NRTA frequency along Old South Road is a good way to a good place to start.
NRTA, you mean buses, really?
Public transportation access is ideal. Right now, there's fairly good service along Old South Road. It probably could be better, and more capacity could be given to the area. That's one solution. We already have a very nice bike path that was built, I don't know, 8 years ago, something like this.
Yeah.
So maybe your bike access is there. There's maybe some infrastructure on the other side of Old South Road that could probably be added. Maybe a sidewalk in some areas.
Right.
Probably in the Amelia Drive to Fairgrounds Road area.
Yep.
A lot of pedestrian activity. There's some stretches where it's not as necessary. But, bike pedestrian accommodation is something that should be thought about as well.
Absolutely.
And any type of development along any of these areas of any significant size, you should have interconnections for bike pedestrian activity so you can circulate between uses instead of jumping in your car and driving 500 feet to go to a different use. That'll help bring down a lot of the vehicle congestion.
All right, now we are in the area here that the big proposal is on, right? They want to develop this area possibly.
Correct.
And that would stretch from, would it be all the way down? How far down are we talking here?
Well, it's just general property owned by Richmond Corporation. That's
how far down does it go, though? Does it go all the way?
Not all the way down to
just to basically right to the road here.
Right in this general area.
Right in this general area, and there's proposal for those people who are listening that are not from Nantucket and don't know about this. Mm-hmm. There's a proposal to build either
well, there's no proposal right now at all.
Okay, they took it off the table for now.
I don't know if there's ever been anything on the table. There's never been any application submitted to the planning board. There's been some discussions about what their build-out potential would be.
Okay.
And that's kind of where they
Let's
are right now.
explain it to people. There was a market, a proposed market, right, a commercial.
Correct. Well, there was never a proposal that was submitted. There was a request of town meeting this past year, which was withdrawn, to increase the size of a building in this area.
Okay.
To some
to
whatever size.
Right.
And that was withdrawn, and they want to do a bigger study. I think it was some ownership issues, and the area was a little bit bigger than what that shopping idea was.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the property owners wanted to go back and do their homework a little bit more and kind of flesh out, okay, what the potential possibility is. Right now, they're going through a traffic analysis internally for themselves.
Oh.
They're doing a number of different counts at a number of different intersections that would be of concern if anything was done in this area. They're doing those counts at the end of July. We wanted to have it done at kind of the peak season, and they wanted to do it too, to have get a good picture
Exactly.
of what the peak season looks like.
Absolutely.
You don't like building to your worst case scenario, but
Would their team be working with you too?
eventually, yeah, I've had discussions with their traffic engineer to
Yeah.
kind of identify those intersections.
Got it.
Again, they don't have a program set for what
Right.
their development's going to be. They just right now want to understand the existing condition and what they could build to.
Now, regardless of whether any commercial building gets done here or they get the zoning passed or anything, they could build more houses here.
There's a
right.
by right development that they can do.
Okay. Do we know how many houses that could be?
There, off the top of my head, no, but it's
something like Nosh.
a couple of Nosh ups.
Yeah, okay, a couple of Nosh ups. Okay, that's quite a few more people and more cars, and right?
Mm-hmm. And it just is a housing concern. Some people would argue that there's a lot of times there's not the housing that's available for.
Oh, I'm not saying one way. I'm not judging it.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at this road and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, maybe it should be widened. Could it be 2 lanes? Could we actually do 2 lanes here? Is it possible?
Is it necessary? I don't know.
You think you could make something, Mike? I mean, you're a wizard.
You could look
You did the rotary over at near the Stop and Shop. You did a great job with that, by the way. I want to give you credit for that.
It took a lot of people. Somebody had to stand up at town meeting and say this is a great idea.
No, I know.
I wasn't the only one. A lot of people did think it was a great idea.
And a lot of people didn't.
And a lot of people thought it wasn't within the character
And
of the
then they
island.
came back and said it was a good idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea. It functions.
It worked out well. So what would you do? I mean, what if you didn't widen this road?
First of all, you look at the intersections. Then that's what anybody would do is look at the intersections of concern. Amelia Drive, Fairgrounds, the Airport Road intersection.
Yep.
Lovers Lane, that area. You look at those intersections. Okay, there's going to be a lot of cross traffic and turning movements. What's the best way to address that? And right now, traffic circles are a nice non-mechanical way of doing it.
Traffic circle, another.
Yeah, you don't need a traffic
Could you
signal.
put one at Amelia Drive? Would it make
Probably
sense?
could. Probably.
And then there'd have to be another one over at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, probably.
You could put 2 smaller ones. Yeah.
Well, right now we're recommending the one at Fairgrounds. Right now,
Yes.
under existing conditions,
Yeah.
without any of these projects. Amelia, you could probably make the argument that maybe that would kind of help. Sure.
Right.
Right now, that just hasn't been studied. There's really not the backup information to make a good argument for it. But yeah, it's. Have you ever tried to make a left-hand turn out of Amelia Drive to go on Old South Road, especially this time of year? It can be kind of tricky.
It's tricky. Really, really tricky. Mike, do we have any number? Do we know how many cars are actually on island right now? Is there any way to know that?
The way we've typically done it in the past is take the number of registered vehicles, which is right around 17,000.
17,000.
17, 18. And then look at the net vehicles that are carried over on the Steamship Authority. And, that'll get your number up to in the neighborhood of 20, 23, right in that range.
You're saying between 20 and 23,000 right now?
Right in that range,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. And then what in the off season?
And that's the best way to guess at it.
And in the off season,
We have a migration of vehicles that leave the island. You look at
That's
your registered
true.
vehicles, and there's a net loss at the Steamship Authority, so you can make the
what would you
argument
say? What in your configuration in the off season compared to now? How much?
Shoot from the hip and guess, I'd say we lose about 3,000 vehicles from the registered vehicles. So we're 17 registered, probably gets around 14,000 vehicles on the island. Again, a lot of those are just garaged vehicles, not used.
Now, I totally see what you mean here. This is a perfect example of a place for a rotary.
Yeah.
When might that happen? if it were to pass and go stream through, what do we?
Right now we have other projects and stuff that are kind of in the pipeline, and just with limited resources and whatnot, you got to prioritize. That's probably 3 to 5 years away.